Buongiorno from beautiful Assisi. I am so thrilled to be here. I love this land. So I've come up early morning again, so if I look that way, yes, I can squint into the sun, just like my previous videos. But of course, even though I'm going to be in part shade, I'm just going to deal with that because I really would love you to see the town of Assisi below me. Let me get out of the screen. There we go. There's the beautiful San Rufino Cathedral. I'm staying opposite that next week, or from tomorrow actually, with the group of ladies who are coming here on retreat. Let's see, I'll show you a little bit more. I'll do a little pirouette. Oh, you're going to look into the sun. There's a valley, and then here behind me, can I capture it? There, the Rocco Maggiore, which overlooks the town. There we go. I'll bring it back so you can get to look down on this town. This is such a divine little town, and it really is little. Like, it's basically 10 minutes, bit more walk from one side to the other. And yet it is packed with so much. It is a homage to St. Francis. And, it's not surprising that there is such a magnetism to this land. This land is incredible. And I'm hoping through this video you can get a sense of the land. Yes, the village, the town is gorgeous, made from the rose granite that comes from the mountain just over the back of me here. And the village and the town, I keep calling it village because it's little, but the town is truly beautiful. It's like a photographer's delight. But underneath it all, it's the land. And actually, when you truly connect in with the energy of Francis, of course it's about the land. It's about the land and the creatures and the earth. That is what he was all about. That's what his teachings were about. They were about love for all. Love for all, rich or poor, the sick, the lepers and the well, and love for the creatures of earth, love for the plants, love for earth herself, love for the elements, love for the sky and the sun. Francis truly recognized the oneness of everything. And when you come here and you move beyond what can sometimes feel a little bit of, ostentatious wealth in the churches that honor him, when you move beyond that and you feel the land here and the love in the land here, that's when you realize what he was all about. And I'm saying he, of course he was a he, but also, excuse me, first words I've spoken today, but also his partner, shall we say, and I don't mean that necessarily in a relationship sense, as in a romantic relationship sense, but his partner, St. Clare of Assisi, or Chiara, they incarnated at the same time. They were on this land together. She was cloistered more in her beautiful sanctuary down at San Damiano, and she did her teaching, shared her wisdom and her healing from there. And Francis walked the land to share his wisdom and his healing. And lands beyond Assisi, he traveled around the world. And yet they were in a heart communion. They held the energy of the Cathar. And it's believed that Francis's roots through his mother, who was French, came from the Cathar region. And he held that energy, the energy of love for all. And a part of the way that the Cathar would share their wisdom and teach was in partnership. There was a male and female perfecti, as they called them, who travelled together. Now, because of the laws of the church at the time, Clare was not able to travel and teach. She had to remain within the walls of the convent and do her work from there. However, just let those bells, I love the bells of Assisi, I have to say. However, they were in a union. They were in a soul union, and they carried the Cathar energy. And of course, a part of that Cathar energy is being connected to the land, of seeing the oneness, of seeing God in everything. And that cathedral that you can hear, which one? That one there. Okay. San Damiano, that's the original cathedral. Well, it's still the only cathedral, but that is where Clare and Francis were baptized. And there is a crypt beneath it, a crypt that I love to visit. It's down in the Roman ruins. And when I'm down there, it's said that he would meditate down there. And when I'm there, oh my gosh, I can feel the strength of his energy. So the other cathedral you can see here, that's the cathedral to Santa Chiara, Clare. The Basilica to Francis is down the other end of town. I don't go to that very often. It's phenomenal, it's huge. And when you're approaching Assisi from down below, that's what you see, is the great big cathedral. That was built after his death. It's actually it's not a cathedral, it's a basilica, because you can only have one cathedral in a town, and this was already the cathedral. So the basilica is two churches. There's one downstairs and one upstairs. It's huge. There's phenomenal art in there. There's a lot of wealth, shall we say. I'm never drawn to go in there, as beautiful as it is. And the fact that Francis is buried at the bottom in the crypt, it's the antithesis to everything that Francis taught, everything. And it was built after he was made a saint, after he died. And he asked to be buried on the side of the hill, that particular hill. And so they've built this massive cathedral and then put his tomb at the bottom. And yet he was a man of the land. He was a man of simplicity. I mean, in many ways, you would look from today's standards and say he was a man who lived in poverty, but everything was provided for him. He lived in trust, and he lived in connection with the earth, and he lived in connection with all of humanity. And so next to that cathedral of St. Francis is the Bosca. The translation, I don't know if it's garden, woods, forest, perhaps. I didn't check that before I got on here. But that is Francis. When you wander around there and you're on the land next to the cathedral, then you feel his true spirit, the heart of who he was. And so I'm bringing you a message from Francis today. So I commune with Francis quite a bit, and this is because in my work with the Rose line, there are 11 rose oracles. So there are 44 beings of the Rose line. There are 11 main oracles that I channel for my group, my Patreon group. And one of them is Francis. And interestingly, Francis is the only one who incarnated in male form. The other 10 came in female form. And so when I'm channeling their energy, I'm channeling their codes, their frequency of what their gift is, what they brought to the earth, what seeds they planted, and how that's reflected in us. And one thing that always comes through with Francis is about the love for the mother. And yes, it's honoured here through Mary. There's Mary everywhere, and that's beautiful. And that is a form of the mother. Mary is the great mother. But Francis also honoured her through honouring the earth. And if we truly want to make a difference on the earth, if we want to save the earth, don't get me started on that because I think the earth is quite capable of saving herself. But if we truly, with good intention, want to make a difference on the planet, we begin by loving the earth. It's all very well for the academics to say this and that about the climate and this is what we need to do to change the climate. But I often wonder, do those people stand barefoot on the earth like I am right now? Do they feel her presence through their feet? Do they love her? Do they commune with her and speak with her? Do they sit with the birds and hear their message? Or do they see themselves as separate from that? And the way to heal and not heal, the way to assist the earth in her evolution as we evolve is to commune with her, to be one with her, to honor her through our love, through our connection not only with her but with each other. That is how the earth will flourish into her full potential. We are part of the earth. We are doing this together. So Frances's message to you today is to be with the earth. Whether you stand on her, whether you hug a tree, whether you speak to a bird or a lizard or an ant, all are an important part of this ecosystem that we are a part of. And that's who he was. And that's actually why he became a great saint. So if you haven't already, I suggest you read his Canticle of the Creatures, his beautiful celebration of nature and God in nature, or the goddess, if you want to use that term, the divine in nature. It's exquisite. And I think it sums up who Frances of Assisi is, who Clare of Assisi also was. So sending you that beautiful energy of connection, this beautiful energy of connection from Assisi. I'm very excited to begin my mystery school tomorrow. 8 of the ladies who came with me to Provence last year for the mystery school are joining me here tomorrow for a week to fully immerse ourselves in the energy of this land. So I may well make another video on the other side of that because I know there's going to be so much come through for us all. Sending so much love to you from Assisi, from this beautiful land. Ciao.